Hey, welcome back to the Pulse here on Joy News on Multi TV. Now, information we are getting reaching Joy News indicates that the board of directors of the National Communications Authority are kicking against the $89 million contract signed between the Ministry of Communication and Kelni-GVG. Government, through the Communications Ministry in 2017, signed the contract with Haitian company Kelni-GVG to deal with suspected revenue losses and symbox fraud in the telecommunications industry. Now, sources close to the NCAA board say the contract is not in the interest of Ghanaians. There's more in the following News Desk report.
The board insists that the NCAA, which is the implementing agency, has engineers and other technicians who are capable of doing what Kelni-GVG has been contracted to do. According to Joy News sources, the company would be operating from the premises of the NCAA. The board believes the NCAA could as well get the equipment and do the work at a cheaper cost. Joy News is learning that a member on the board, Susan Barbara Ajoko-Boy Kumaple, has tendered in her resignation letter. She is a partner and the head of the technology, media, and telecommunications practice of law firm Benchi Enchil Lecha and Ankuma Bella. A source within the board says her resignation is linked to the contentious contract, although that has not been stated in her resignation letter. Sources close to the board told Manasseh Azuri Awuni more board members are prepared to walk away if the deal continues. Franklin Kujo says the $89 million contract is a careless duplication of jobs and needless drain on the country's scarce resources. According to him, Suba and AfriWave were awarded similar contracts under the NDC administration to perform similar jobs, even though both contracts were needless. We are being told they don't want to openly confront the Minister for Communications, Esla Owusu, on this. They are channeling their concerns through what they call the appropriate headquarters for redress.
But a Deputy Communications Minister, George Anda, has been defending the contract, saying the telcos are in favor of the contract with Kelni-GVG. He spoke on the Super Morning Show on Joy FM with my colleague Daniel Darcy this morning.
Cited the resignation of the NCAA board member. I haven't seen anywhere in the resignation where it says that her resignation is based on the common monitoring platform. I think that if we understand the governance structure, the ministry supervises the NCAA and not the NCAA that supervises the ministry. So the NCAA, there cannot be a situation where the NCAA is contradicting the policy direction that comes from the ministry. What you are saying is not true. I believe that you do the right thing and eat your humble pie. So let's wait for the NCAA board, okay? When the NCAA board releases a statement, depending on which direction it goes, we can take the discussion further. None of the telcos have expressed any concern about the implementation of the policy. The Telecoms Chamber hasn't expressed any concern about implementation of the policy. They are in full support of government's decision to implement this policy. There are two concerns that they had. The one on the privacy of their subscribers' data and one on security of their infrastructure.
So civil society have raised concerns. We know that Imani Africa, for instance, its president, Franklin Kujo, has also been commenting on the latest development at the National Communications Authority. Let's get more from him as he joins us live on the phones. Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Franklin Kujo. So first of all, how much do you know of this contract? How bad or good is it for Ghana in simple language?
Well, good evening to your viewers. As you know clearly, speaking, none of the defense put up by the ministry has convinced any Ghanaian. I don't think anybody has convinced. Otherwise, they wouldn't be having, the press wouldn't be having countless numbers of interviews. I'm sure the ministry itself is tired of defending their own indefensible fact. First of all, this is a contract that is not needed because first, the whole idea of monitoring calls is probably a very complex entity. Secondly, they are giving money to a company so formed to go and look for non-existing theft. And we are paying them a flat fee of $1.5 million. That's wasteful because you don't know exactly what they are going to find. And because you don't know what they're going to find, you don't give them a flat fee. You don't even get into a contract and say that until they start being functional in July 2018, they should be paid $1.5 million a month until then. So they've been paid almost $7.5 million as we speak for doing nothing, just hanging around, claiming they are building, operating, and transfer. The fact of the matter is that this same company had been in the country in 2010 doing the same thing, claiming they were doing build, operate, and transfer. Why is that document? Where is that equipment they eventually transferred when they train people? Today, Mr. Jojanda has been brandishing a letter from somebody he claims worked on the 2010 GVG deal and is passing it as a reference. Isn't it counterintuitive, really, that if GVG was doing so well, why did they leave the country at the time? Why did they leave then? Why are they back here under a different name and they are being given a sumptuous deal of almost $178 million? Let's stop saying it's 89. It's actually 178.
178.
Because the contract is for 10 years. Automatically being renewed. Madam, would you give money to someone to go on a fishing expedition when you know very well that you only have to pay only when the person brings a shoal of fish, and then you weigh the shoal of fish and you decide how much you pay and all of that? This is akin to, it's like Ghana asking Talo or Cosmos Energy to give her $100 million upfront, even before they started looking for oil in the ground. Even in this case, it was Cosmos and Talo who decided to bring their money, investment, to come and look for the oil. Found the oil, we found the number of barrels, and then we slapped the tax before we got our due. What the NCA is doing is the complete opposite. They are saying, you go and look for anything, whether you find anything or not, collect $1.5 million, free money, chop. Who does these kinds of things? Except somebody who does not understand the fact that it is not his or her money, and then he can waste it the way they will.
But it looks like the NCA, we're told at least some members of the NCA are also not in favor of this contract or the contractor for that matter. There's currently a meeting we're told about. But who actually is in favor of this contract then? Because the Ministry of Communication insists that this is a good deal for the country.
I mean, to notice there are only two people in favor of the contract, the minister and the deputy. They are the only ones talking. Can't you see that the whole country, nobody is talking, even the party rank and file, nobody is speaking about the contract. Isn't it only Jojanda who is speaking? In fact, the minister has even kept quiet, but she has nothing useful to say, so she's kept quiet. It's only George who is now speaking on the matter. So the point is that at the end of the day, what we should be asking ourselves is, why are we paying money to someone or a company that's not delivering any value? So you are right about some people not being happy about it. And the NCA board, obviously, yes, some board members have reached out to us that these are the things happening, they are not happy. So that person who resigned is not by coincidence anyway.
But we are told it's not related to this at all, because there's no particular reason that was given.
The funny thing is that this person resigned about 3 months ago. Did you know? Because of this particular matter. They were just waiting to blow up the way it's blown up right now. So no one can say, but they are not telling you why the person resigned. Did he resign because she's sick? He didn't resign because she's sick.
But we're told it's not because of this contract. But in the coming days, we'll get to know what exactly the reasons are. But moving forward, Mr. Kojo, what do you reckon should be the way to go? Should there be a U-turn? What do you expect the Ministry of Communications to do?
The contract should be abrogated right now, and then GRA and NC officials should sit down and do proper, but they have revenue assurance analysts. They can do all of this work. You see, trying to monitor real-time calls is like what one of my vice presidents has described as, it's like the U.S. government asking Google to plug into their machines so that every advert placed in every part of the world, they are able to determine it in real time. Imagine how laborious that would be. Right? You claim you don't trust the telcos, but do we trust you when you have gone to in some corner and then done this deal? So the best thing is to use revenue assurance officials who have been trained by the way, DRA and NCA, and there's capacity to do that, and they can do that. They can then find any telco who goes ahead and shortchange us. Find them first time heavily, second time more heavier fines, and then the third time they probably cancel the license. That's what other far-seeing countries are doing, right? But in the meantime, look, the reason why this deal is not useful also is that they've never been able to provide one shred of evidence in terms of the commercial value in return. Yesterday, Mr. Jaganda said on Joy FM that, Ghana is likely to get $1 billion. That's 4.6 billion cedis over the next 5 years when we do this core monitoring. And then I found out that this arithmetic is even faulty. Because as we speak, MTN alone gives us about 1.2 billion in taxes and fees. Last year, they gave us another billion, right? And the telcos in general, 2014, 2015, they've returned values of almost $1 billion. If you add the remaining telcos, what they give us, including the taxes, direct taxes we charge on mobile money, which is growing by the way, we are likely to make about 7.5 billion Ghana cedis in 5 years, right? But George is, without GVG, we'll make that money. We probably will make about 8 billion more.
So just for clarity, what you're saying is, with your recommendation that we give it to the GRA and the NCAA to run, you're saying it will come at a cheaper cost to us as a nation?
Nobody will pay anything. You will not pay for any worthless equipment.
And we won't have to part with the over 100 million Ghana cedis, or dollars that we're talking about?
Not at all.
So how come we are not looking towards there and we still insist on giving it to the GVG?
Say that again.
I'm asking, so if it's not at a cost to us as a nation, why would we want to give such a contract then to GVG?
Well, ask the minister and the deputy. They know the only reasons why they are doing that. I mean, who does that type of contract? Don't work, sleep, and then I pay you $1.5 million.
Okay.
Don't do anything. Then I give you $1.5 million. You see, it's the tragedy of the commons. What belongs to you, you tend to take care of. What belongs to everybody tends to fall into disrepair. That's why somebody said if you give money to government, it's like giving car keys and gin to teenagers. It's just wasted, right? It's sad. It's very sad that the whole minister can be going around holding this type of project, claiming that it's value for money. Meanwhile, they've not calculated the value. They should set it aside. And in any serious organized society, the minister should be answering questions by now and probably be stepping aside as well.
Very well.
Yes.
Minister Kojo, we'll leave it here. Of course, this is not the last of this discussion. We'll definitely continue and dig more and find out. That's Franklin Kojo. He's the president of Imani Africa. And like I said, the NCAA board, we are told, is supposed to be meeting on this matter. Some members of the board, we are told, are certainly unhappy about this contract and the contractor, that's the GVG. We'll definitely bring you more on that. We also know there's a resignation already, but we're told it's not related to this contract, but there will be more in our subsequent bulletin.